First place winner of our nonfiction category, Kyle McKillop, and he will be reading a shortened version of his winning story, 3 Days Out of Uni. Kyle?
"3 days out of Uni, March 22nd. 7 of us leave the Bolivian town of Uni, our bodies folded into a Land Rover with luggage on the roof. Beside the local driver is Victor, a silent, gray Frenchman. Jorge and Rebecca cuddle on the middle bench, and I share the rear with my brother, Scott, and our friend Matt. We cross the plain, watching debris blow across the flat, open space. Alongside the unpaved road, llamas graze. 2 vicuñas bolt elegantly away. The salt plain seems endless. The ancient seabed's crystallized remains covering 10,000 square kilometers under a crown of blue sky. We bump along, our speedometer stuck at 0 as we pass trucks 3,700 meters above sea level. The driver, whose name I did not catch, plays old-fashioned pop. The salt is rippled as if by tide, and our movement feels waterborne, the slow monotony of islands unspooling along a calm coast. Ahead hunches a volcanic outcrop, cactus-covered and broad, known as Isla Incahuasi. Walking its spinal path, Matt is breathless from the altitude. Before leaving, the driver grills alpaca steaks. We make land again in the shadow of another cactus-dabbed hill, and in Villa Candelaria we find our hotel, a hovel made of salt blocks. With Victor, a hike out of town to explore the brush. We do not speak. He knows no English, and I have exhausted my French. Climbing, we find a leg bone on the ground, fur still attached. We scale a loose rock wall and find the rest of the corpse, a twisted donkey stripped of flesh. We retreat. The hotel room is carpeted with an inch of salt, and the lights do not work. Scott wires the connection, revealing salt blocks in place of box springs. When the hotel cuts the electricity, we brush our teeth in the dark. March 23rd. At 7 o'clock, llamas block our path. Flags are flying for Dia del Mar, the holiday that commemorates the war with Chile that cost Bolivia its coastline. Rutted by wheels during rain, a sprawl of dry mud lies ahead. A semi-active volcano bastes in the distance, its caldera surrounded by clouds. We race on to Laguna Chiricahua, our shoes caked with mud and guano as 100 flamingos shift down the lake to avoid us, a mass display of bashfulness. Fluorescent green lichen splatters the ground where Scott gets an altitudinal nosebleed, his hands slowly drenched in red. Reaching the hotel, Matt goes to bed, cold and ill. Our travel exhausts him. His second brain tumor is in remission. They place the catheter in his head, draining it occasionally via a needle through the skull. He turns to sleep. I tiptoe to the lounge to beat my brother at cards. March 24th. We are woken at 4 o'clock. I am the last outside. Earth is black and cold, but a million stars froth the sky. The dashboard glows like a submarine instrument panel. Later, skimming through a long, flat valley edged by dirt hills, our Land Rover blows a tire. Few vehicles pass. Our driver puts on coveralls and spends 15 minutes loosening his spare from the undercarriage, kicking and spinning on his back to pry the tire over broken threads. Jorge helps, while the rest of us sit in blasting sun, watching them crank the jack with a pair of pliers. With the spare on, the driver eases his constant push. A bleached ribcage sits amid moss beside a mountain stream, and Scott yells a farewell to the llamas. After 3 days, our driver bounces us back into Uni's dusty streets unscathed. We pay him and say goodbye without ever learning his name. Thank you.
And from the Board of City Literary Arts Society Directors, congratulations, John. Well done.